Open your book to page 321. This is lesson 11.7. This lesson is on solving equations by factoring. Before we get to the factoring, we need to cover the zero factor property. So let's go to page 322. You have this, the blue box is a zero factor property. Or sometimes called a zero product property. Okay, what it's saying is that if you have a times b equal to 0, so you have something times something equal to 0, then, so again, you have something times something equal to 0, then a must be equal to 0 or b equal to 0, okay, or both. So again, when you have a times b equal to 0, that means one of these has to equal to 0 in order to get a 0. Okay. So by using these, you can solve equations. So if you go to example 2, you have a x minus 1 times x minus 2 equal to 0. So you have the something times something equal to 0. So you can, if you have something times something equal to 0, that means that x minus 1 equal to 0 or x minus 2 equal to 0. So you can, when you have this times this equal to 0, that means this has to equal to 0 or this has to equal to 0 in order to get that 0 as your answer, right? So from here, you apply the zero factor property to set it equal to 0, and then from there you can go and solve. So plus 1 on both sides, so you get x equal to 1, okay? Or you plus 2, so you got x equal to 2. So that's your two possibilities. So this one are two answers, okay? Now let's go to example 3. You have 2x, x minus 3, x plus 4 equal to 0. So after a while, you can see that the answer is going to be, if there's no number in front, the answer will be just opposite, right? So if it's x minus 1, x has to equal to 1. X minus 2, x has to equal to 2 to get 0. So by looking at that, you should be able to tell that, okay, you're going to get three answers. You're going to get x equal to 0, or x equal to 3, or x equal to negative 4. Okay? So again, if you don't see that, you just apply the zero factor property. So you're going to get 2x equal to 0, or x minus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 4 equal to 0. Okay? So again, you have something times something times something equal to 0. That means this has to equal to 0, or this has to equal to 0, or this has to equal to 0 in order to get a 0. Right? That's the only way you can get 0 as your answer. So from here, you can go and solve. So divide by 2, so x equal to 0. You can just box that. And you get plus 3, so you get x equal to 3, so you can box that in minus 4, so x equal to negative 4. So if you box that's fine too. But best thing to do is just go and put an or like this over here. This is probably the best answer, best form. But if you kind of do it and you kind of scatter all over the place, then this is fine. Okay, I will accept this. Okay, so let's go to example 4. On page 323. So you got 4x squared minus 16x equal to 0. Okay, so now you have to solve this, right? But notice all this, the factoring is done for you already, but this is not. So you have to do the factoring yourself over here. Okay? So again, so you have to do the factoring. But to do factoring, you have to make sure it's equal to 0. You have to make sure this is equal to 0 before you do any factoring. And so when you're doing the factoring, again, you go to step 1, common factor, so you can factor the 4x, so you get x minus 4. Okay, so step 1, common factor, and that's it. So now you can go and solve. So you got 4x equal to 0, or x minus 4 equal to 0, then you can go and solve, right? And so you're going to get, so divide by 4, so x equal to 0, or plus 4, so you got x equal to 4. Okay, and so those are your answers. Okay. So you can set equal to, make sure the right hand side equal to 0, then you factor, you set equal to 0 and do that. Okay. Now, when you get to this point, right, because this is so easy, you can skip, it's okay to skip this over here and just from here you can just write down x equal to 0. From here you can just go straight from here to here. Okay. But you have to be careful if there's a number in front, you have to set equal to 0 and solve for it. Okay, let's go to example 5. You you have x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. So again, when you're solving, first you've got to double check, make sure it's equal to 0. Okay, to make sure it's equal to 0. So yes, okay, so now you're ready to do factoring. So step 1, common factor cannot. Step 2, special factor cannot. Step 3, cube cannot. So we go to master product. So you get -1. You can keep track of your negatives, -6, right? So you start with 1 comma, -6, 2 comma, -3, and that's correct, right? So do the factoring. So undo the f, right? X times x give you x squared. So you have to figure out the O and I. Now, because there's no number in front, so they're interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which is O and which is I. So whatever you see, just put down. So +2 minus 3. So once you're done factoring, now you can go and apply the zero factor property. So you're going to have x plus 2 equal to 0, or x minus 3 equal to 0. You should be able to just, from here, you should be able to just kind of look and figure out that answer is going to be -2 and +3. So again, from here, you're going to get -2, right? -2 plus 2 give you 0, right? 3 minus 3 give you 0. So you're going to get -2 and 3. But if you don't get that, that's okay. Just continue. So -2 on both sides. So you got x equal to -2. Okay? That's going to wait. That's going to do it this the proper way. Okay? And so you got +3, +3. So you got x equal to 3. Now normally you want to have the word or in there. Okay? Okay, and that's it for example 5. Okay, let's go to example 6. You got 3x squared plus 12 equal to 12x. So do not do factoring right now, okay? Because in order to use zero factor property, you have to make sure that the right hand side equal to 0. So minus 12x minus 12x. So this will cancel out, right? So you're going to get 3x squared minus 12x plus 12 equal to 0. So again, make sure you arrange in correct order. Then, now, one thing about equation is that you can divide to lower your number, but you only do that with the equation, okay? So go and divide everything by 3 to lower your number. A little bit easier to do. So you got x squared minus 4x plus 4 equal to 0. Okay. And then from here you can go and do the factoring. So step 1, common factor cannot. So step 2, trinomial square. This is a perfect square. So this is your step 2b. So let's go and try this. So you got x, and you're going to get -2. Right, follow through. And double check, right? 2 times -2 times x give you that, right? So that's your step 2b. So from here, when you set this equal to 0, you're going to get double. Okay, so all you have to do is have x equal to 2 equal to 0. Because you're going to get 2 of the same thing. So all you have to do is do 1 of them. And then you +2, +2. Okay, so again, this means x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, and so all you have to do is set 1 of them, right? Because they're the same, right? So you don't have to do it twice. So you're going to get x equal to 2, and that's it. So this one have only 1. Okay. Okay, let's go to example 7. You're solving, you got 4 minus x equal to 3x squared. Okay, so first let's go and put everything in the correct form. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have an x on it, but let's go and do it this way. Let's go and minus 3x squared, So let's go and put everything on this side. So you got -3x squared minus x plus 4 equal to 0. And now when you're doing the factoring, you don't want to begin with a negative. So what you want to do is multiply everything by -1 to get rid of this negative. You don't want to start with a negative. It's very easy to make a mistake. So let's go and get rid of negative. So again, it's an equation, so you can multiply everything by -1. So you got 3x squared plus x minus 4 equal to 0, right? -1 times 0 is still 0. Okay, so now we're ready to do factoring. So again, make sure it's equal to 0, and make sure you don't have negative in the beginning. So step 1, common factor cannot. Step 2, special factor cannot. This is not a square. Step 3, cube. No, not a cube. So go to step 4, master product. So you're going to get 1. And remember, master product is -12, right? So remember to multiply this, -12. So you start with 1, comma, -12, 2, comma, -6, 3, comma, -4. So you need to get 4, comma, -3. So that's the correct combination. So you start and make sure make sure your follow through is equal to 0. And so you start with the lowest and the highest, right? So this would be the inside. So it'd be -1, right? 3 times -1 give you -3. That's your inside. And this is the outside. So you need to get +4. Okay? So once you factor, then you can go and set it equal to 0. So I got x minus 1 equal to 0, or 3x plus 4 equal to 0. So from here you can go and solve. So +1 on both sides. So you got x equal to 1. This one you have -4 on both sides. You got 3x equal to -4. Divide by 3, divide by 3. So x equal to -4/3. Okay, so your answer would be that. X equal to 1 or x equal to -4/3. So let's go to example 8. You have x minus 1 over x minus 3 is equal to 12 over x plus 1. So when you have a fraction equal to a fraction, what you need to do is you need to go and do the cross multiplication. Okay, so you go and cross multiply, do like an x, right? Cross multiply, and use for your method or whatever method. Notice these are conjugates, right? When you multiply these are your conjugates. So you're going to get x squared minus 1 from these. Okay, equal. Okay, when you multiply these, you're going to get 12x minus 36, right? 12x minus 36. And now you're going to make it equal to 0. Again, you got to know how to multiply these, right? X times x give you x squared, minus times plus give you minus, 1 times 1 give you 1, right? So again, this is conjugates. So you need to know how to multiply that. Okay, so now let's go and make it equal to 0 so you can do factoring. Again, you have to have it equal to 0 before you do factor. Okay, so minus 12x plus 36 plus 36. So this all cancel out, right? So you're going to get x squared minus 12x. Now do not mix these, right? Again, these are unlike terms. And this will give you plus 35 equal to 0. Okay, so now you have equal to 0. So now you're ready to do factoring. So step 1, common factor, cannot. Step 2, special factor. This is not a square, so not it. So you go to step 3, cube. There's no cube. So you go to step 4, master product. So you use -12 and 35. So you start with 1 comma 35. But notice that this will not give you negative. So you have to use both negative, right? Again, you have to keep track. Okay, negative times negative give you positive. So you're going to get -3, no, -5, and -7. And so this is it. Okay? So you break it down. So you got x and x, right? Let's undo the first term. Now again, there's no number in front. It's very easy because whatever you see, just put it down. So -5, -7. So now you're ready to solve. So set it equal to 0. So now you go and solve. So +5 on both sides. So x equal to 5 or +7 on each side. You get x equal to 7. And that's the answer.